In the quiet, sun-dappled land of Canaan, a family lives under the slow, steady rhythm of daily life. The air is warm, and the land stretches out with hills, fields, and scattered tents. It is here that we meet a family, not unlike many others, though they are marked by a unique story. A story that begins with a father's love, a brother's envy, and a dream that will forever change their lives. Jacob, the father, is an old man by the time Joseph is born. His other sons have already grown, each of them marked by their own experiences, triumphs, and struggles. But Joseph, born to Jacob in his later years, is different. He is the child of Jacob's beloved wife, Rachel, and because of this, Joseph holds a special place in his father's heart. Jacob's love for him is deep, like a well that never runs dry. Joseph's brothers, however, do not see him with the same fondness. They know that Joseph is their father's favorite, and in their hearts a seed of jealousy begins to grow. This feeling is not spoken, but it is felt deeply by all. The tension in the family grows as they struggle with their own emotions, resentment, anger, and a longing for the love that seems to flow so freely toward Joseph. Jacob, unaware of the effect his love has on his other sons, decides to show Joseph just how much he means to him. One day he gives his son a gift, a coat. But this is no ordinary coat. This is a coat of many colors, woven together with care and beauty. It shines brightly, catching the light in a way that no one can ignore. It is a symbol of his love, a gift that says, "You are special to me." But to Joseph's brothers, this gift is not a symbol of love. It is a symbol of division. They see it as a mark of their father's favoritism, and their hearts harden even more. The coat, once a symbol of Joseph's father's love, now becomes a source of bitterness and division among the brothers. Joseph, unaware of the full weight of his father's gift, walks through his days with the coat as a visible reminder of the love that surrounds him. His innocence shields him from the storm brewing in the hearts of those around him. But one day, something happens, something that will take this quiet family drama and send it spiraling into a series of events that will change everything. Joseph has a dream. In this dream, Joseph is not just a son, but a ruler, a leader. He sees himself standing tall while his brothers bow before him, acknowledging his greatness. In this vision, the future is clear, and Joseph is at the center of it all. He shares his dream with his brothers, perhaps thinking they would be happy for him, but the response is not what he expects. Their anger flares up. "Do you think you will reign over us? Will you actually rule us?" they ask, their voices thick with bitterness. This dream, though innocent in Joseph's eyes, only fans the flames of jealousy that have been burning in his brothers' hearts. They begin to speak more harshly to him, their words laced with resentment and distrust. Yet Joseph does not understand the depth of their feelings. To him, his dream is nothing more than a vision, a simple glimpse into a future that feels far away. But for his brothers, it is the final straw. They cannot bear to see him favored, not just by their father, but by the world itself. And so, the seed of a plan is sown in their hearts. As the days pass, the atmosphere in the household becomes increasingly tense. Joseph, blissfully unaware of the storm gathering around him, continues to go about his life. He dreams more of his future, and his father's love seems to shine brighter with each passing moment. But for his brothers, the jealousy that has simmered for so long is now a full-blown fire. It burns hot and fierce, consuming their thoughts, their actions, and their very hearts. One day, Jacob sends Joseph on a journey to visit his brothers, who are tending their father's flocks in a distant pasture. The air is crisp, and the sun hangs low in the sky, casting long shadows over the land. Joseph, wearing his beloved coat of many colors, begins his journey with a sense of purpose. He does not know that this journey will be the turning point in his life, the moment when everything changes. As Joseph approaches the place where his brothers are camped, they see him from a distance. And as soon as they do, the plans they've been whispering about in the dark corners of their hearts begin to take shape. The sight of Joseph, his coat glinting in the sunlight, fills them with a mixture of anger and disdain. They no longer see their brother as the innocent dreamer, the beloved son of their father. They see him as a threat to their future, a reminder of their father's favoritism and the cause of all the resentment that has been festering within them. "Here comes that dreamer," they say to one another, their voices dripping with contempt. The brothers are no longer content with just harboring feelings of jealousy. They are determined to take action. And as the plan begins to form, it becomes clear that nothing will stand in their way. "Let's kill him," one brother suggests. The words hang in the air, heavy with the weight of their meaning. There is no hesitation in their voices, only cold resolve. But Reuben, the oldest, steps forward. "We can't kill him," he says, his voice tinged with a different kind of concern. "Let's throw him into a pit instead. We'll leave him there to die, but we won't have his blood on our hands." The other brothers agree to this plan, their anger clouding their judgment. They know what they are about to do is wrong, but in that moment, it seems like the only way to rid themselves of the source of their torment. Joseph, unaware of the danger that awaits him, continues his approach. He is still far from the camp when his brothers begin to carry out their plan. As he draws near, they seize him. Strong hands grip his arms, pulling him roughly toward the pit they've prepared for him. Joseph struggles, but there is no escape. His brothers, who once shared the same blood, now treat him as nothing more than an obstacle to their desires. They strip him of his precious coat, the symbol of their father's love, and throw him into the pit. The coat, once a sign of favor, now lies in the dirt, abandoned and torn. The pit is dry with no water in sight, but it is deep. Joseph is trapped, and the brothers stand around it, watching him. There is no remorse in their eyes, only cold indifference. They sit down to eat their meal, as if nothing has happened. Joseph's cries for help echo in their ears, but they turn a deaf ear to him. The bond of brotherhood that once held them together has been shattered, and all that remains is a hardened, cruel shell. As they eat, their conversation shifts. They begin to discuss what they will do next. The pit is not the end of Joseph's story, they know. It is only a momentary stop, a brief pause before they make their final decision. But even as they plot their next move, the weight of their actions presses down on them. Joseph's innocent face, his pleading eyes, and his broken spirit are imprinted on their minds. Yet none of them speak of it. They are too far gone, too consumed by their jealousy and anger. Meanwhile, Reuben, the oldest brother, slips away from the group. He has a plan of his own, one that he hopes will undo the harm they have caused. He intends to return later and rescue Joseph from the pit, returning him safely to their father. But the moment slips away quickly, and when he returns, he finds that things have taken an unexpected turn. As Reuben reappears, he sees something that will change the course of the entire situation. A caravan of merchants traveling from Gilead appears in the distance. The sight of the caravan triggers something within the brothers. This is their opportunity, an opportunity to get rid of Joseph once and for all, without having to get their hands dirty. Without warning, they make a decision. They will sell Joseph to the merchants, trading their brother for a handful of silver. And in this moment, the brothers exchange their brother's life for the price of a few coins. Their hearts are heavy, but they do not look back. Joseph is pulled from the pit, his spirit broken, his heart crushed. He is bound and handed over to the merchants, who take him away, leaving behind a family shattered by betrayal. The journey to Egypt is long and grueling. Joseph, now a slave, is bound by chains, his dreams and hopes scattered like dust in the wind. The merchants who have bought him are not kind. They are not interested in his past, his family, or his story. They see only a young man who can be sold for a profit. His fate, once shaped by his father's love and his brother's jealousy, is now out of his hands. As the caravan moves southward, Joseph's mind races. He is far from home, from his father's household, from the land he knows. The vast, unfamiliar landscape stretches out before him, endless and barren. He wonders if he will ever see his family again. Will his father ever know what happened? Will his brothers ever regret the cruelty they've inflicted on him? But even in the darkest moments, Joseph's faith is not completely shaken. His heart, though broken, still clings to the hope that God has a purpose for him. Deep down, he believes that this journey, this painful journey, is not the end, but a beginning. It is the first step of a story that is far bigger than he can see. When the caravan finally arrives in Egypt, Joseph is sold to an officer in Pharaoh's court, a man named Potiphar. Potiphar is a high-ranking official, a captain of the guard, and his house is a place of power and authority. Joseph, once a favored son in a household of love, is now a servant in a foreign land, a stranger in a strange place. At first, life in Potiphar's house is hard. Joseph's days are filled with the work of a slave. He does the tasks others are too proud to do, his hands calloused from labor. But as the days pass, something remarkable begins to happen. Potiphar notices Joseph. He sees that Joseph is trustworthy, hard-working, and diligent. Potiphar, who has had many servants before, finds something different in Joseph. He is drawn to him, not just as a servant, but as a person of exceptional character. Potiphar's trust in Joseph grows. He begins to place more responsibility in Joseph's hands, and before long, Joseph is put in charge of the entire household. From a young man in chains to the overseer of an entire estate, Joseph's rise is nothing short of remarkable. And though his circumstances have changed, he is still a slave, still far from his family. He does not let bitterness consume him. He works with integrity, doing each task with diligence and honesty. The house of Potiphar flourishes under Joseph's care. Everything Joseph touches seems to prosper. Potiphar sees the blessings that flow from Joseph's efforts and begins to trust him with more and more responsibility. Joseph's rise to prominence in Potiphar's house is a testament to his character, his resilience, and his unwavering faith. But even in the midst of success, Joseph's life is not without challenges. Potiphar's wife, a woman of great beauty and desire, takes notice of Joseph. She sees in him not just a servant, but a young man who possesses qualities that she finds appealing. Her attention, at first subtle, soon becomes more direct. She begins to make advances toward Joseph, offering him a chance to sin, a chance to betray his master and his own integrity. Joseph, though young and in a position of vulnerability, stands firm. He refuses her advances not out of pride or fear of punishment, but out of a deep respect for his master and a fear of God. "How could I do such a thing and sin against God?" he says. His response is filled with conviction and clarity. He knows that to give in to her temptation would not only betray Potiphar, but it would also violate the trust he has in his faith. Potiphar's wife, frustrated by Joseph's refusal, becomes angry. She feels rejected, scorned, and humiliated. And so, in an act of vengeance, she accuses Joseph of attempting to assault her. The lie she tells is a cruel one, and when Potiphar hears her story, his anger burns. He has no choice but to throw Joseph into prison, a place where the innocent are sometimes forgotten, and the guilty are sometimes left to live out their punishment in darkness. Joseph's journey, once filled with promise, now seems to be plunging deeper into darkness. From the pit to slavery, and now to prison, his life seems to have taken a turn for the worse. Yet even in this new chapter of his life, Joseph does not lose hope. The prison, cold and unforgiving, becomes yet another place where he will rise. The prison in Egypt is quiet, heavy and confining. Its walls made of stone feel unyielding, and the air is thick with the scent of dampness and neglect. Joseph is placed here, far from the household he managed so carefully, far from the life he had begun to build under Potiphar's roof. It is a place meant to hold those accused, the guilty and the innocent alike, but for Joseph, it becomes another test of patience, character, and faith. At first, the days feel long and unending. The routines of prison life are harsh. The food is sparse, the beds uncomfortable, and the company often bitter or hopeless. Joseph is surrounded by men who have suffered greatly, some broken by the weight of their crimes, others hardened by years of confinement. It is a harsh environment, one that could easily crush a spirit. Yet Joseph approaches it differently. Though he is bound, his mind and heart remain free. He observes, listens, and begins to understand the rhythm of this new world. He does not allow despair to take hold, even when the nights are long and the days seem monotonous. It is not long before Joseph begins to stand out even here, in this unlikely place. The keeper of the prison notices something different about him. Joseph is trustworthy, careful, and diligent. He does not complain, he does not seek to dominate, and he does not indulge in bitterness, even though he has every reason to. The prison staff gradually place more responsibility in his hands. He becomes a kind of overseer, not because of power or fear, but because of his integrity and quiet strength. Among the prisoners, Joseph meets two men who will shape the next stage of his journey: the cupbearer and the baker, both servants of Pharaoh, each imprisoned for reasons known only to them. These men, like Joseph, are caught in circumstances far beyond their control. Yet Joseph, attentive and thoughtful, notices details in their behavior, the tension in their speech, and the signs of worry etched on their faces. He approaches them with kindness, listening to their troubles, offering a calm presence in the midst of uncertainty. One night, both men have dreams that trouble them deeply. The dreams are vivid and strange, filled with images that feel heavy with meaning. The cupbearer dreams of a vine, producing grapes that he presses into Pharaoh's cup. The baker dreams of baskets and birds, a vision that leaves him uneasy. The two men are anxious, unable to understand what their dreams might mean. Joseph, recognizing an opportunity not for personal gain but to serve, asks them to share their dreams with him. He listens carefully, considering every detail, every symbol, and every subtle nuance. Joseph's words are calm, reflective, and measured. He does not claim to have power of his own, but he offers interpretation as one who trusts in a greater wisdom, a higher understanding beyond human knowledge. For the cupbearer, Joseph explains that his dream means he will soon be restored to Pharaoh's favor, returning to his position in the palace. For the baker, the interpretation is graver. His dream suggests that he will not leave the prison alive. The words are spoken gently, but with certainty, a reflection of Joseph's insight and the quiet authority of his spirit. When Pharaoh's servants awaken, the events unfold exactly as Joseph predicted. The cupbearer is restored to his position, grateful and hopeful, while the baker meets a tragic end, confirming the truth of Joseph's interpretation. Yet the cupbearer, in his relief and gratitude, forgets Joseph. For 2 long years, Joseph remains in the prison, still bound, still waiting, and still patient. The world outside moves on, yet Joseph's faith does not waver. He does not allow bitterness to take root, even though he could easily feel abandoned, forgotten, and wronged. In this time, Joseph grows not just in understanding, but in character. The hardships he endures are shaping him, preparing him for the responsibilities that lie ahead. The patience, resilience, and faith he cultivates in the quiet, stone-walled prison will become the foundation for his later life. A strength that no betrayal, no hardship, and no darkness can ever take away. It is here, in these confined, still, and reflective days, that Joseph's spirit deepens, and the wisdom that will later guide a nation begins to emerge. Two full years pass in the quiet stone walls of the prison. Time moves slowly, yet it leaves its mark, not just on the prisoners around Joseph, but on Joseph himself. The world outside has changed, as has Egypt. Pharaoh, the ruler of the land, has been troubled by dreams that none of his wise men or advisors can interpret. He is unsettled, searching for meaning, looking for someone who can understand what seems impossible. The cupbearer, who was restored to his position long ago, suddenly remembers Joseph. In the midst of Pharaoh's anxiety, he recalls the young man in prison who accurately interpreted his own dream. With this memory comes hope. Perhaps there is someone who can help. He tells Pharaoh about Joseph, a servant in the prison who spoke with insight and wisdom, who trusted in a higher understanding beyond ordinary knowledge. Pharaoh listens, and hope begins to rise, like the first light of morning over the desert. Joseph is brought before Pharaoh. He stands quietly, calm and steady, yet fully aware of the importance of this moment. His appearance is composed, his manner respectful, yet confident, not arrogance, but the quiet authority of someone who knows his own worth and trusts in God's guidance. The grandeur of Pharaoh's court surrounds him. Columns, rich tapestries, attendants moving silently across polished floors. But Joseph's attention is not on the splendor. It is on the task before him, to listen, to understand, and to serve faithfully. Pharaoh begins to speak of his dreams. He describes visions of 7 healthy, strong cows, followed by 7 thin, weak cows, and the images of 7 plump ears of grain and 7 thin, scorched ears. His voice is tense, his mind troubled, and the words hang in the air with the weight of their meaning. Pharaoh has sought answers, but none have come. And now he looks to Joseph, a man who has known hardship, patience, and divine insight. Joseph listens carefully. He does not interrupt, he does not speculate hastily, and he does not offer words meant to impress. Instead, he considers each detail, weighing the images and the symbols, and then he speaks. His words are calm, measured, and filled with understanding. He explains that the dreams are not mere visions. They are a message of what is to come. 7 years of abundance will flow over the land, providing for the people, followed by 7 years of famine, a time of scarcity and challenge that will test the entire nation. Joseph's interpretation is precise, not mystical or dramatic, but grounded in logic, insight, and divine wisdom. Pharaoh is astonished. He has heard many interpretations, but none so clear, so measured, and so compelling. He sees in Joseph not just a dreamer, but a leader, someone capable of guiding the nation through years of plenty and years of need. With quiet authority, Pharaoh appoints Joseph over the land, granting him responsibility far beyond what any other man has ever known. He gives him the seal of his office, the authority to prepare Egypt for the years ahead, to gather, store, and distribute resources with wisdom and foresight. Joseph steps into his new role with humility and diligence. He organizes, plans, and manages with a careful hand. The abundance of the years is stored systematically, measured meticulously, and recorded for the years to come. Every decision Joseph makes reflects his patience, his insight, and the understanding he has cultivated over years of hardship. Even the officials of Egypt, accustomed to power and authority, watch in quiet respect as Joseph guides the land with skill, foresight, and steady calm. Through Joseph's efforts, the nation is prepared. When the famine eventually comes, it strikes not as a force of total destruction, but as a test of careful planning and wise stewardship. Egypt, under Joseph's guidance, is ready. The people who might have faced despair are provided for. Families survive, communities endure, and Pharaoh himself is pleased, recognizing that this young man, once a prisoner, now sustains an entire nation with quiet wisdom and firm guidance. Even in power, Joseph remains humble. He does not seek glory, nor does he flaunt his position. His thoughts often turn to the family he left behind, to the land of Canaan, and to the brothers who betrayed him. But he understands more deeply now than ever that his journey, from favored son to slave, from prisoner to overseer, from dreamer to leader, has been shaped not by chance but by purpose. Every hardship, every betrayal, and every trial has prepared him for this moment, a role that requires patience, discernment, and the steady guidance of a heart that trusts in God. The famine that Joseph had foreseen now spreads beyond Egypt, reaching the land of Canaan. Fields that once produced grain now lie barren, and the people begin to struggle for the simplest sustenance. Among them are Joseph's family, his father Jacob, and his brothers, who now face the harsh reality of scarcity. The land they once worked, tended, and relied upon can no longer provide enough. Anxiety settles over the household, quiet but heavy, as they consider what must be done to survive. Jacob, a father now aged and careful, calls his sons together. "Go to Egypt," he instructs them, his voice steady but tinged with worry. "Buy grain so that we may live, or else we and our households will perish." The brothers nod, understanding the gravity of the situation. They prepare for the journey, their hearts burdened not just by hunger, but by the past, the jealousy, the anger, the betrayal that once defined their relationship with Joseph. Yet that history is distant now, overshadowed by the pressing need to provide for their families. As the brothers travel to Egypt, their minds are filled with thoughts of Joseph. Some wonder what has become of him, while others silently regret the actions of the past. The long journey takes them through hills and valleys, along dusty paths that stretch beneath the bright sun. Each step seems to echo the weight of memory, as the events of years ago, the pit, the sail, the coat, linger unspoken between them. When they arrive at the city in Egypt, the marketplace hums with life. Merchants, travelers, and locals move about in a rhythm of trade and necessity. The brothers find Joseph, now a figure of authority, overseeing the distribution of grain. He recognizes them immediately, though they do not recognize him at first. Time and circumstance have changed his appearance. The young boy they once mocked and betrayed is now a man of composure, dignity, and command. Joseph's heart is moved, not with anger but with a quiet depth of feeling that has been shaped by years of reflection, hardship, and growth. He sees the faces of his brothers, the same faces that once threw him into a pit, the same eyes that once glared with jealousy, now lined with worry and humility. Yet he does not reveal himself immediately. Instead, he tests them, observing their character, listening to their words, and watching how they respond to the situation. The brothers do not recognize him at first, and Joseph speaks to them cautiously, questioning their origins, their intentions, and their honesty. He seeks to understand whether they have changed, whether the lessons of life and hardship have softened their hearts. He listens to their stories, hears of their struggle, and observes the care they show for their families. Each detail matters as Joseph measures the truth and integrity of those who once betrayed him. Through subtle questions and careful interactions, Joseph begins to guide them toward awareness. He creates opportunities for reflection, moments where their conscience stirs and the weight of their past actions presses upon them. They begin to realize that this man, this figure of authority, holds not only the grain they have come to buy, but also the power to determine their fate. Joseph watches with quiet patience as the seeds of remorse grow within them. The same jealousy that once consumed them now contends with a sense of fear, respect, and wonder at the wisdom and strength before them. He observes their humility, the careful way they speak of their father, and the concern for their youngest brother, Benjamin, whom they must eventually bring as proof of their honesty and intentions. In these moments, Joseph's heart is neither hardened nor bitter. He remembers the past, yes, but he also recognizes the larger picture, the journey that has led him here, the preparation he endured, and the providence that has guided each step. The famine, the sale, the prison, and the rise to power all converge in this quiet reunion, where judgment, mercy, and understanding meet. Joseph's patience, cultivated over years of hardship, allows him to navigate the encounter with wisdom and foresight, ensuring that reconciliation will come not through anger or accusation, but through a careful unfolding of truth and recognition. Joseph's mind works quietly, carefully, as he prepares for the next step. His brothers, unaware of who he truly is, have come to buy grain to sustain their families. Yet Joseph knows that understanding their hearts is as important as providing for their physical needs. The years of betrayal have left scars, and he seeks not only justice, but also assurance that they have changed, that they are no longer the same men who once sold their brother into slavery. He speaks to them with calm authority, posing questions that seem simple at first, but carry weight beneath the surface. "You are honest men," he begins, "yet one among you remains at home. Do you have another brother?" The words are careful, deliberate, designed to stir reflection and reveal truth. The brothers respond, their voices carrying uncertainty, a mixture of fear and hope. They speak of Benjamin, the youngest, their father's remaining beloved son. Joseph listens, his heart steady, but his mind calculating how to test their integrity. Joseph proposes a challenge. Only if they return with Benjamin will they be given full access to the grain and resources. The condition is harsh, yet measured. It is not revenge for the sake of cruelty, but a measured test of character, loyalty, and honesty. The brothers leave Egypt, returning to Canaan with the grain they have purchased and with the responsibility to bring Benjamin. The journey back is tense, their minds heavy with worry. They speak in hushed tones, wondering what kind of man Joseph might be, what consequences await them, and how they might navigate this unexpected trial. When they arrive home, they share the condition with Jacob. The father, now aged and cautious, hesitates. He fears for Benjamin's safety, remembering the loss of Joseph and the pain it caused their family. Yet the famine presses on, leaving little choice. After much discussion and careful planning, Jacob allows Benjamin to go, entrusting him to the care of his older sons. The journey back to Egypt is filled with anxious silence, each brother reflecting on the past and their own behavior. Upon reaching Egypt a second time, Joseph receives them again. He observes closely as they present Benjamin, their actions and words revealing the care and concern they feel for their youngest brother. He notes the humility in their voices, the worry that clouds their eyes, and the honesty in their behavior. These subtle signs, though seemingly small, speak volumes to Joseph, confirming that the men before him have changed in ways that time alone could reveal. To further test them, Joseph places his silver cup secretly in Benjamin's sack, creating a situation that will reveal their character under pressure. When the cup is discovered, tension fills the air. Accusations arise, voices tremble, and fear grips the brothers' hearts. Yet in this moment, Joseph observes more than guilt or fear. He watches for unity, responsibility, and the depth of their care for one another. Judah, stepping forward, speaks with quiet courage, offering himself in place of Benjamin. "Let him stay," he says, "and let me go instead. Our father's grief would be unbearable if Benjamin were lost. I cannot allow him to suffer again as we suffered with Joseph." The words hang in the air, heavy with sincerity, humility, and love. Joseph listens, his heart stirring at the display of integrity, the protective care, and the remorse that flows through his brothers. The moment is long and deliberate. Every pause, every glance, every word carries meaning. Joseph does not rush the revelation, allowing the brothers to experience the weight of their own actions and the depth of their commitment to one another. In this careful orchestration, he teaches them, guides them, and tests them, ensuring that when the truth is finally revealed, it will be met not with chaos, but with understanding, reconciliation, and recognition of the journey that has brought them here. The moment comes quietly, almost imperceptibly, yet it carries the weight of years. Years of pain, betrayal, growth, and patience. Joseph can no longer contain the depth of emotion he feels as he watches his brothers plead for Benjamin's safety. The words of Judah, the concern for family, the unity they display, all speak to the transformation that has taken place since the day they sold him into slavery. His heart, which has endured betrayal, hardship, and exile, begins to stir, not with anger, but with a profound understanding of purpose and providence. In the stillness of the room, Joseph takes a deep breath. He is no longer the boy in the coat of many colors, the dreamer thrown into a pit. He is a man shaped by trials, guided by faith, and entrusted with the stewardship of a nation. The authority and wisdom he has gained give him the patience to act now with care, to reveal himself in a way that will allow reconciliation rather than shock or fear. "Do not be afraid," Joseph says gently, his voice calm but filled with presence. The brothers startle, confusion and awe mingling across their faces. They step back, eyes wide, unsure of what to make of this man who speaks with such familiarity, yet with a tone they do not recognize. Joseph continues, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt." The words hang in the air, heavy with truth and the weight of years. For a moment, silence fills the room. The brothers cannot speak. Shock, disbelief, and the memory of past wrongs swirl within them. Faces pale, eyes widen, and hearts pound. Joseph watches them, not with vengeance, but with the quiet authority of someone who has endured the worst and emerged steadfast. His voice, steady and calm, continues to guide them through the revelation. "Come closer," he urges softly. "I am not angry with you. You meant it for harm, but God meant it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, to preserve many lives." The brothers listen, their hearts beginning to understand, though the pain of memory still lingers. Joseph's words are neither accusatory nor dramatic. They are measured, reflective, and full of wisdom. He allows them space to absorb the truth, to wrestle with the weight of their past, and to feel the depth of mercy extended to them. Tears flow freely. Men who once plotted against their brother now fall to the ground, weeping. They see in Joseph's calm presence not only the brother they wronged, but the grace that has allowed him to rise, endure, and forgive. They are humbled, confronted with the consequences of their choices, and yet also relieved by the love and understanding that Joseph extends. Joseph embraces them one by one, his gestures gentle but deliberate, full of reassurance and acceptance. He does not ignore the past, nor does he pretend it did not exist. Instead, he transforms the memory of betrayal into a foundation for reconciliation. His actions show the brothers that true forgiveness is rooted in understanding, in recognizing the role of providence, and in the patience cultivated through trials. He sends for his father Jacob, and when the news reaches him, the old man is overcome with emotion. After years of grief and longing, Jacob finally sees the son he thought lost, now grown, wise and compassionate. The reunion is quiet, reflective, and deeply moving. There is no shouting or dramatics, only a profound peace that comes from restoration, from the healing of relationships, and from the fulfillment of promises long ago whispered in the heart. Joseph's story, from favored son to slave, from prisoner to ruler, culminates in this quiet moment of revelation. It is a testament to patience, faith, and the unseen threads that guide life's journey. He demonstrates that hardships, betrayal, and suffering are not ends in themselves, but steps along a path that can lead to restoration, wisdom, and the deepening of love. Phase 8 is complete. Let me know After Joseph reveals himself, the air between the brothers changes. What was once filled with fear, shame, and guilt now softens into a quiet recognition of what has been endured and what has been forgiven. Joseph, with calm authority, reassures them gently. His words are measured, reflective, and filled with warmth. He does not dwell on their betrayal. Instead, he focuses on the present and the future, on the family that can now be restored, and the lives that can be preserved. Joseph instructs his brothers to return home to Canaan and bring their father Jacob along with all their households. The instructions are precise but delivered with care. He tells them to take their possessions, livestock, and provisions, ensuring that the journey back to Egypt will be safe and comfortable. There is no sense of command born from authority alone. Rather, there is a quiet, deliberate kindness in every word he speaks. The brothers leave immediately, carrying the message to their father. When Jacob hears that Joseph is alive, he is struck with disbelief at first. The years of sorrow, the grief of losing his beloved son, weigh heavily upon him. Yet hope grows, slowly at first, like the first rays of dawn over the hills of Canaan. His heart stirs with cautious anticipation. Could it truly be possible? Could Joseph, the son he thought forever lost, be alive and well? Preparations begin in earnest. Jacob gathers his family, his flocks, and his possessions, preparing for the long journey to Egypt. The walk is slow, deliberate, and full of reflection. Each step carries memories of the past, the laughter and quarrels of children, the sound of Joseph's voice, the tension that once shadowed their household. Yet, beneath these memories, a quiet excitement begins to emerge. A father long burdened by grief feels a stirring of anticipation, a quiet hope that the family can be made whole once more. When they finally arrive in Egypt, the scene is filled with quiet wonder. Joseph sees his father approaching with tears in his eyes, and the reunion is tender and reflective. Jacob falls upon Joseph's neck, holding him close, the embrace carrying years of longing, sorrow, and finally relief. Words are not needed immediately. The embrace itself speaks volumes. There is a calm joy in the silence, a recognition that life, even after hardship, can be restored. Joseph then introduces his brothers and their families to Pharaoh, ensuring that the reunion benefits not only his father but all who have accompanied them. Pharaoh receives them kindly, providing land, resources, and safety during the years of famine. The provision extends beyond mere survival. It offers dignity, security, and a chance to rebuild. Joseph's careful planning and stewardship now bear fruit not only for Egypt but for the family of Israel. Over time, Joseph continues to care for his family with gentle authority. He arranges homes, allocates food, and ensures that the children grow in safety. The brothers, once filled with jealousy and resentment, now live under his guidance with respect and renewed love. The past is acknowledged, lessons are quietly remembered, and a new chapter begins, defined not by betrayal but by understanding, patience, and restoration. This period of reconciliation is calm, reflective, and full of subtle emotion. There is no dramatic shouting, no exaggerated displays of wealth or power, only the quiet dignity of a family healed and a story of providence fulfilled. Joseph's journey, from favored son to slave, prisoner, ruler, and finally restorer of his family, stands as a testament to endurance, wisdom, and the gentle unfolding of life's plan. Here, in the quiet moments of reunion, the family experiences a peace that had been absent for many years. Relationships are restored, hearts are softened, and Joseph's patience and integrity shine as guiding lights. The narrative demonstrates that through hardship, thoughtful action and faith, reconciliation and restoration are possible even after profound betrayal. With his family safely settled in Egypt, Joseph turns his attention to the broader implications of his journey. The famine continues, yet through careful planning, Egypt thrives while neighboring lands struggle. Joseph's wisdom ensures that grain is distributed fairly, resources are preserved, and lives are saved. His leadership is quiet but profound, built not on fear or dominance, but on insight, patience, and the ability to act with both strategy and compassion. Joseph's family flourishes under his guidance. His brothers, once torn by jealousy and guilt, now live with a renewed sense of purpose and unity. They tend to their households, care for their children, and participate in the management of resources, learning from Joseph's example. The household of Jacob grows and prospers in ways that reflect not only the abundance of the land, but the restoration of relationships. Joseph's leadership has transformed their lives, turning the pain of the past into a foundation for stability, growth, and peace. Beyond Egypt, Joseph's story spreads quietly, though significantly. His actions demonstrate the value of integrity, wisdom, and foresight. Pharaoh himself relies on Joseph's counsel in times of both abundance and scarcity, recognizing that true leadership is measured not by the power one wields, but by the care one takes in sustaining the lives of others. Joseph becomes a figure of respect, a model for those who serve faithfully, and an example of how perseverance and moral clarity can overcome even the harshest of circumstances. Through all this, Joseph reflects on his own journey. He remembers the pit where he was thrown, the betrayal by his brothers, the chains of slavery, and the isolation of prison. Each step, painful and difficult though it was, has contributed to the man he has become. He recognizes the hand of providence, seeing how the challenges he endured were preparing him for the responsibility and authority he now holds. His life is a tapestry of experiences, some dark, some bright, woven together with patience, trust, and careful action. In quiet moments, Joseph contemplates the lessons learned. He understands that suffering is not meaningless, that betrayal can be transformed through patience and integrity, and that true leadership emerges from service, wisdom, and humility. He sees that reconciliation is possible, even after great wrongs, and that faithfulness to one's principles allows for restoration and peace. These reflections are not loud or dramatic. They are deep, steady, and meditative, echoing the calm that has characterized Joseph's life since the beginning. As years pass, Joseph ensures that his family retains not just physical security, but moral and spiritual grounding. He teaches his brothers the importance of fairness, the value of foresight, and the necessity of trust. The children of Israel, growing up under his guidance, learn from his example. They witness firsthand how patience, wisdom, and integrity can navigate even the most challenging circumstances. Joseph's life becomes a living testament to resilience and careful stewardship, showing that one person's steadfastness can impact generations. Joseph's story closes not with triumph in the sense of worldly power, but with the quiet satisfaction of fulfillment. He has survived betrayal, slavery, and exile, and has become a source of strength for his family and for a nation. His journey demonstrates that life's challenges, while often painful, can cultivate wisdom, character, and purpose. The peace he achieves is not immediate, but it is enduring, shaped by years of reflection, patience, and trust in a plan greater than himself. In the stillness of Egypt, Joseph walks through the fields of grain, observing the land he has helped sustain. He thinks of his father, now old but joyful, of his brothers now faithful and united, and of the future generations who will benefit from the work he has done. The story of Joseph, from favored son to slave, prisoner, ruler, and restorer, is a quiet reminder that life's path, though winding and difficult, can lead to reconciliation, purpose, and enduring peace.